So let's see if it is working this morning. You see, I'm sitting somewhere else. Our internet gives only me hassles. We have, I don't know, 8, 10 computers all connected, but my is not connected. But luckily, I have a crazy technique fanatic husband, and he always makes sure that, I think his worst nightmare is not to be connected to the internet. So that's why I have a plan B here. I have a dongle. That's why I'm sitting here, to be close to the dongle so that you can all hear and see me. So let me just see if everything is working. Just go to my Facebook page here. That looks like this. I am online. Yes, there are some people watching. Lovely. Okay. Yeah. So Fizil obviously invited somebody. That is great. So let me just know if you can hear and see me. So that would be absolutely great. And then we will dive also immediately into our topic, how to compile a bankable business plan. Okay, so let me just talk maybe um, one or two short sentences about myself and Funding Connection. I'm the CEO and the funding strategist here at Funding Connection. I'm assisting entrepreneurs to raise capital with bankable business plans, and in the second part, also support them to raise the capital for over a decade now here in South Africa. We are really, really successful. We have a high success rate. We are submitting to all the different funding institutions really on a weekly basis. So we know exactly what they require. We know exactly what they come back with if they have some internal changes and request some other information or additional information. So we just make sure that your business plan and your application ticks already all the boxes. Kwakwamba Ndlazi. Greetings. Thank you for this opportunity. Yes, we can hear and see you clearly. Thanks very much for letting me know. Okay, so let's just dive into it. I know that some of you definitely, due to some financial constraints, you need to do your own business plan. And this is not impossible. Okay, it will definitely take you longer. And but on the other side, it will also, I always see positive things. It will also forces you to really concentrate on the relevant details, and it will later on also, because what we do is, all of us, we usually only concentrating, I need funding. But what you really want is, you want to set up a successful business. Yeah. And all this research, what you are forced to do now, will definitely help you to then later on run your successful business. Ananes Roberts, okay, thanks for the session. Pleasure. Oh, now you are really, really challenging me here, huh? Nom kibelons. Go ye. Wow, okay, so Nom. We do that, Noms. I just shorten the name. You can also hear us. Absolutely great. Okay, so let me just, I made some notes. That's why you will see that. Okay, so what I always recommend is, if you need to do your business plan on your own, we all know that you are in love with your product or services, what you want to do. And that is good, so that there's nothing wrong with it. The financier want on one side to see your love for the product or services you want to offer. That means also, of course, your expertise. And but they are more interested in the profitability. Yeah. And it doesn't matter if you go to government institutions, to commercial banks, to venture capitalists, to any of the other funds, they all will crunch your numbers. Yeah. So let me just give you a little bit of an overview of what should be in there. Yeah, so there is definitely an executive summary, and I always recommend do that at the end. Don't start with it because no, no, no. You want to write the business plan first, and then then it's easy for you to just write the executive summary, who you are, what you want to do, where are you at the moment? Is it a startup? Is it an expansion? How much money do you need? For what do you need the money? Yeah. And if you have any, and how are you able to repay the loan? Yeah. Short and crisp, one, maybe 2 pages. That's it. It's an executive summary of the business model. Yeah. So make sure later on you also are clear about the total investment. Yeah. So that means that you need to be clear about how much money do you really need. Okay, and it's not just thumb sucking. Okay, let's see, maybe that amount or this amount, or I'm estimating 10 million. Make sure that it's absolutely clear. Yeah. So then the next one is definitely think about your staff. You see what I'm going for? I'm going for all the numbers. That is the most important part. Everything else is, of course, important, but I'm not too worried with you about this. Usually, explaining the product, explaining the services, that's where you're good at. What people usually having a problem with is really thinking about what about the numbers, so how much do they spend, cost, staff, and I've seen crazy business plans. So, and that makes it really, really difficult then for the financier to really understand, yes, what your Noms is fine. Thanks very much. Okay. So that is so where were we? Let me just recap. So the first one was definitely executive summary comes at the end. The second one is be clear about your investment amount. The third one is be clear about your staff, what you require. Yeah. So realistically, yeah, that means you can't have two security guards for a property that needs 24/7 security. Yeah. So sorry, that's slave drivers. You can't let them work 12 hours a day in 2 shifts and then 7 days a week. That's not possible. So really think about, okay, so one day is maybe 8 hours shifts. So that would be a minimum of 3 security guards. And then you need to think about, okay, they only work 5 days a week. So you have 7 days a week. You need to do the calculations. Think a little bit about a roster. You also need, of course, hey, they have some leaves. I know employees are terrible. They require leave. And you also need to think people can be sick, you know. So you always need to have specifically, there are some businesses, they need to think about, okay, what happens if this key staff is sick? Do we have plan B in place? Yeah. Is there somebody on standby? I don't know, it's like nurses are on standbys. Lots of businesses have these standbys if somebody is sick so that they can, or for some crazy reasons, doesn't pitch up to work, so that you have them in there. You need to think about these things, please. Do not forget that. Yeah. So and then so understanding your overheads in figures is key. Kuhama, you're absolutely correct. Yeah. So because this is what financiers really will have a look at. This is so I'm a numbers person. That's the first thing I have a look at it. If I see a business plan, and you have no idea what I've seen in business plans, I'm sure I mentioned that a couple of times now. 100 people hired, but salaries and wages 20,000 rand. I'm not too sure how you want to do that. Or they even, and then they figure out, and then when I see the office they want to rent is 100 square meters. Okay, this will be a really cuddly office there. So you see how everything is connected. I'm sure what happened is that somebody says you need to create lots of jobs. So they just said under staff, 100 people hired. Okay, they forgot that this, of course, also has an ripple effect on the salaries and wages. It also has a ripple effect on the space you need. Yeah. So these are important parts. The next part is I had a business plan, was it last week? Let me just think about what did they want to do. I understood what they wanted to do. They were in the tourism sector. So it was a little so they just thought we are in the tourism sector, so now we want to offer uh, bus travels, we want to do tour guides, we want to help do events, we want to book hotels, we want to um, book some adventures, and they were all over the place there. But I want you to have a price list. This is what I want to offer, this is how much it costs. Yeah. And I know lots of people will say, oh, Dagmar, it's all individual quotes. Okay, so if this is really all individual quotes, that means your business will be really difficult to run, because out of a sudden everybody is asking for individual quotes. You are busy with only quoting, but then you don't even have the time to follow up. So and then it feels like you're busy the whole day with quotations, but no money is coming in. Yeah. So that's why I always recommend is that, and even you see that with us, so I would be able to do individual quotes for each and every business plan, because each and every business plan is different. I am aware of this. What I'm doing, it's a mixed calculation. And the mixed calculation is, okay, there is up to 1 million rand. There's only so much information the financiers at the end of the day want to see. If somebody wants between 5 and 10 million rand, there will be more details the financiers want to see. And in most cases, the business model is also a little bit more complex. Yeah. So what we have done, we have three categories where the majority of our clients definitely fit in, and everybody above 10 million rand then gets individual quotes. Yeah. And sometimes it's just my advice to say, okay, so in some cases the standard plan is not good enough. Although clients only need 1 million rand, they need really a detailed target market analysis, and there is a minimum analysis in there, but not a detailed one. So then we need to upgrade. That's the same thing what you can do for your business. Yeah, you can just have a look at what you want to do, and then think, okay, let's create some packages. It makes your life easier, and let me tell you, it's also more transparent for your clients and customers. Because if I ask for some quotations, I understand in some cases it is individual quotations, but if there's nothing out there, then I feel like they are dicing it each and every time, and then depend on how they feel like how much you can pay, and then they charge you accordingly. Yeah, I like transparency. I personally like transparency if I'm looking for prices. So I always assume my clients do the same thing. They love transparency. And the other part is it makes your life easier. Yeah. Think about packages and say, okay, so an event of up to 50 people with this included will cost this per person. Yeah. Or a coach minimum guest, so many people cost this. Yeah, because then you can do your costing and pricing, and then you can do a realistic business plan and financial forecast. Because otherwise, I'm seeing people just assuming, oh, we are making easily 5 million rand a month sales. I'm thinking, okay, what do you want to sell? Oh, it's an app. And then for how much do you want to sell it? Oh, I don't know. I think the one part was 1 rand per month. I'm thinking, oh, you're expecting in month 2 or 3, 5 million subscribers. How do you want to get there? You know? So, and then they say, yes, I see what you mean. Yeah. So, as I know, these numbers for lots of people they are scary, but it is basic mathematics. It's nothing crazy. Yeah. You just need to think about this is how much it costed, this is how much I charge. That's the direct cost. If you want to hire, let's say you want to hire a bus, you know exactly how much it cost you. Yeah. So, and you can say either with driver, without driver. Of course, you need now to think about the diesel this bus will use. You see, there is lots of things you need to think about it. And then it's not only that the cost of this bus with the driver and the diesel needs to be covered, but also, your marketing cost, your offices, your administrator, all these other fixed costs. You have them in each and every month. Doesn't matter if you have sales or if you don't have sales. They also need to be covered by that. Yeah. So we at Funding Connection, we have a budget. We have break-even points. I know exactly our daily break-even point. I know exactly if we are on track or if we are not on track. Yeah. And you need to have that, and it's easier to have that upfront because then you know exactly what sales are you aiming for. Yeah. So, and you see that and say, okay, so this is the sales. You try your marketing strategies. You maybe have offtake agreements. This is not working. You can quickly say, okay, it's not working like this. Let me try something else. Yeah. So it's not only that you think, oh, these financiers, what stupid things they want from me. No, they want to make sure that you set up a profitable business after they gave you the loan. Yeah. So all the things they want is not for some crazy reasons. It's to raise the capital, but your goal is to have a profitable business. Yeah. And all these details will help you to have a profitable business. Yeah. Okay, I see there are a couple of people also coming in, so let me just recap a couple of things. So usually you as a business owner, as an entrepreneur who wants to start a business, you're in love with your product or services. That's usually not a problem if you want to do your business plan on your own. I am aware of this. This is in most cases when I do business plan reviews, not a problem. The challenge is the business model. And the business model is what the financiers want to see. That means how much are you charging? What is your profit margin? How many staff do you need? How much do you pay the staff? How much what else did we had? Then of course have a look at your monthly expenses. You need some. Don't forget an administrator, please. Yeah. You as the business owner and the entrepreneur, you should concentrate on growing your business. You should not concentrate on doing bookkeeping, writing invoices, quoting, all these things. You need to delegate that to an administrator. Yeah. Use somebody with expertise and skills Otherwise, you are teaching somebody else the job, and then it definitely takes you longer. Yeah. Okay, so let me just go in my mind through our. Let me just open this. I can't. I just want to make sure that I had a list and this list just disappeared. I just want to make sure that I'm not forgetting anything. Okay. Oh God, they all disappeared here. I see that. Now I find something. Give me a second. Okay. So, important, let me just go through this again. The company ownership, if there is some history, your structure, explain your products or services, explain your production process, maybe your operation process, maybe your service delivery process. It always depends on what you want to do. Have a look at your suppliers. In some cases, your suppliers are really, really critical. Yeah. Be clear about the why you need the capital and for what you need it. Don't say I need 10 million rand, but I'm not telling you for what I need it. Yeah. Think about if there are any permits and licenses you need for your business. Be clear about your location. Yeah, like I mentioned before, don't have 100 staff and have a 100 square meter office and all need to work in an office. You know, if they are all salespeople, that's fine. You can have a small little office, but be clear about this. If this is the case, you have 100 staff and a 100 square meter office, state clearly not all of these staff will be in our office. Most of them will be running around having home offices. Yeah. Be clear about your prices. Be clear about your costing. Yeah. Important if you want to raise capital are offtake agreements. Make sure that you have some offtake agreements from potential customers. If this is possible, if it is a B2B, a business to business transaction. Yeah. Okay. So, what else is important here? Mention your management, mention your staff. Yeah. So these are all the important parts. Concentrate on the numbers and explain the numbers in your business plan and, of course, also in your financial forecast. Yeah. So understanding, okay. Gigi, hello. Okay, Fizil is inviting everybody. That's absolutely great. Are there any questions here at the moment? Do you want to know something? Is there anything you are stuck at the moment with your own business plan? Yes. So, okay. Yeah, I'm just having a look here. No, there is nobody else asking anything. So what I thought is, I'm not too sure if all of you are aware, we're having a newsletter we are sending out on a daily basis, all the information regarding new funds available, funds they closed down, information about how to draft a business plan, how to do a financial forecast, information about, I don't know, how to do a pitch deck, how to do an investor a pitch deck, how to do a company profile, how to draft a business proposal. So we always want you to be aware of all these things, teach you, share our knowledge with you. At the same time, we are, of course, offering our services to you. In some cases, it is, if you have the money, it is usually worthwhile to just hire somebody to do the business plan and the financial forecast. Let me tell you, it will increase your chances to raise the capital dramatically. On the other side, I'm also aware of that some of our followers were able to use our free How to Draft a Business Plan, and did an application with it and got the money, So, like I said, but let me tell you, he puts all the effort into it. He followed the step by step approach. So, that is definitely important. Let me just see, what financial system can one use for their business? Casey, I'm not too sure. You mean the accounting system? Okay. Um, just let me know. Tiboho, if I'm only applying for an online merchant account for an e-commerce website, does my business plan need to be as detailed like the one that I use for applying for funding? No, I don't think so. Yeah, you need to have a look when there is something outside. Have a look what information they really require from you. Yeah, maybe they only want to know how you are marketing your services, how much you are expecting to get in. Have a look at really follow the rules and regulations wherever you want to apply for. Yeah. They want some crazy documents, make sure you submit the crazy documents. Let me tell you, there's nothing where you need to travel to the moon to pick something up. It's all obtainable. Yeah? Emerentia, thank you for your time and webinar. I just want to ask, how long can it take to get funding once you have everything ready for investors? Emerentia, that depends on if you want to use any of the government institutions. Let me tell you, they use 2 to 3 months is a realistic time frame. That's what they are mentioning. I'm always saying give them another 1 or 2 months. Yeah, just in case. KC, yes, accounting system. Okay, so what we are using is we are using Pastel. It depends definitely how big you are, how many transactions you have. I know that a couple of business bank accounts are offering an accounting system through your banking account. Yeah, that can be a cheap solution in the beginning, but it means that the majority of your transactions goes through your account, through your bank account, because then the system can allocate everything, and that makes it really, really easy. Teboho, pleasure. Amarantia, pleasure. Okay. So what I will do is I will just add our, I will do that later on. Um, what we will do is, if you are stuck, you have done your business plan. I ask my two business plan writers if they are willing to offer 40-minute consultations. So that means you have a business plan, you want to set, but you are stuck somewhere and you want to be able to talk to an expert about your business plan. We will set that up. We will charge a reduced rate of 590 Rand, and then you have 40 minutes on Zoom where you can share your business plan with an experienced business plan writer. Yeah, so Mzwake and James both will do that. Mzwake is Zulu is his mother tongue. If this is something what helps you to communicate a little bit easier, he will be gladly able to assist you there. Keep in mind the business plan needs to be written in English. All the financiers will expect that. But I know sometimes communication can be a little bit easier. James is our experienced business plan writer who's also doing the financial forecast. If you have some questions regarding the financial forecast, what needs to be in there, how detailed this information needs to be in there. Yeah, because what you want a plan, and this plan is not I raise the capital with it. This plan is an action plan. You can see first month, this is what I assumed, this is what would be my sales. Okay, I reached my sales. These are my cost of sales. They were too high. What was the problem? These are my monthly expenses. I was definitely out of budget. Either way, you were above budget, then you need to think about, you know. And it does not mean that you made mistakes. Yeah. It just means maybe you were overwhelmed and there were so many inquiries, and you could see the next couple of months there will come more money in. That's why you needed to hire an additional administrator. Yeah, then that's fine, or that's why you have a bigger office, because you could see it makes no sense to move offices after 3 months because you had already some space for more staff. Yeah. Okay, I hope this was definitely helpful for you. I will put the two links for the two business plan writers. We're just setting this up today into this comments. We will also share that, of course, with our newsletter subscribers. Um, if you are not subscribed to our newsletter, I would definitely highly recommend that. Go to our website, scroll to the bottom of the page. There you can request to subscribe to our newsletter, and then we will definitely be back again next Monday. Let me just see. I just wanted to see if there's any. Um, Let me see. Sammy Jill has a mission question. Is there generic business plan template that you can share as a guide? Um, I have a generic, yes, how to write a business plan. I'm definitely able to share this. I will do this. I will also put the link later on here in these comments, yeah? And Kay, this was really helpful. Pleasure. Okay, so I love my Monday mornings webinars. That is really fun for me. I wish you all an unbelievable, successful week. We still have a couple of weeks available this year, so we are all able to achieve lots of things. So, and we see us definitely back next week, Monday. Take good care. Bye bye.